honestly speaking, I wasn't going to say too much about it, but since it's my man Max, I got to tell the truth about it. When I watched that up-close interview, or interactment, Bud made sure that Canelo looked away first. Bud is for real.
He made sure Canelo broke the stare.
He made sure. And you know me, because this is what I do. You understand me? I believe in winning fights before the fight start.
Right.
You understand me? I had to watch that to be sure. I saw who was going to take the edge. Canelo did it off like it was, and don't get it wrong now, that could be, that don't mean nothing to everybody. But to me, when I make you look away first, and somebody ain't got to force you to look away,
it doesn't necessarily.
What I saw tonight was fascinating. At the final press conference face-off, Terence Bud Crawford made sure that Canelo Alvarez looked away first. To most fans, that might not mean much. But in boxing psychology, those tiny moments can matter. Sometimes, you win the fight before the first punch is thrown.
Really means something, but maybe it does mean. Maybe it might. Right. Maybe it might.
This fight is so close, they so closely knitted, that you got to look for all the small pieces, because the small things are what going to add up to somebody winning the fight.
See, to me, in your career, Roy, I don't look at anything past the Ruiz fight.
Right.
I always say, once you went up to heavyweight, you put on 25 pounds of muscle. Once you take that off, it's never going to be the same. But so people understand, the night Roy Jones beat John Ruiz, he opened as a 2-1 favorite against Mike Tyson.
Yep.
Imagine if someone would have told you the night Michael Spinks got knocked out in 1 round by Tyson, hey, there's an amateur junior middleweight who's never going to come close to losing a fight, and one day is going to open as a 2-1 favorite at heavyweight against Tyson, you'd be like, well, that's the best fighter ever. And at that moment in time, it looked like that might be the best fighter I ever saw. But Roy, because of that, throughout a lot of your career, your marketability suffered because no one could put you in a fight, right? No one really ever came close to putting you in a fight. That's kind of happened to Bud so far. Is he therefore prepared for a fight like Canelo, giving up the...
Bud controlled the stare. He made Canelo blink first. That confidence, it's real. It sends a message. I'm here to dominate. Roy Jones Jr. explained it perfectly. When you're a fighter, you search for any small edge. Back in 2003, when Roy moved up and beat John Ruiz for the heavyweight title, he didn't care who stood across from him.
Or having to jump up 2 more weight classes and fight a guy who might put him in a dogfight, a real one, for the first time in his career.
When we get put in that position, we go find opposition to make that happen. You understand me? So when we go looking for the opposition, we're not concerned about how big they are, how fast they are, how strong they are. We feel like we got enough that we can bring to the table with anybody. That night I fought John Ruiz, I didn't care who was over there. Whoever they brought out that locker room was going to get it. You understand me? That's just what it was. And I think Bud kind of has that feeling. Now, Bud...
Crawford, in Roy's eyes, has that same mentality. He's not worried about size. He's worried about victory. Max Kellerman raised an important point. Crawford has never truly been in a dogfight with someone.
You gotta remember, has been around for a long time. Nobody called him out. You understand me? All the time Floyd came at the boxing floor, never said I want Bud Crawford.
No one ever said his name.
Hey, all I know is one thing. Israel Mazrimov, he didn't get it. He barely lost.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but nobody called his name. You understand where I'm coming from? So when you know a guy is that formidable and that people are ducking or don't want to see him, he's a problem.
Okay, so Mike Poppinger just brought up the fact, Shady, that we see images from the press conference. There's Canelo.
Business, man.
Canelo looks like he trained for speed for me, right? That may be a good thing or maybe not. I think of Joe Louis, Billy Conn. I'm going back to 1941, but Joe Louis thought, oh, Conn's fast. I got to train down, and it almost cost him. You think it's smart to train down?
I do think it's smart, and if you remember Canelo Triple G the first fight, right? Everyone thought that Triple G deserved that decision. Guess what? In the rematch, Canelo came and slimmed down and trained for speed, and then he won that fight in the eyes of most convincingly, right?
So, Shady, Coppinger, in a kind of sneaky, underhanded
He always does this.
You know what he's doing. He brings up the Madrimov fight. Yeah. Were we saying Madrimov or were we saying Madrimov?
I'm saying Madrimov, but maybe I'm wrong, Max. What would be the first time?
I think Madrimov, we're going with Madrimov. When in that fight, if you go back and look, to me, yes, it was the most competitive fight of Bud's career, but he was never really in danger of losing. And when he was like, oh, I got to win some rounds, that's what he did. But to Mike's point, just because of the guy, he was a southpaw, he was tricky.
He was tricky, too.
Clearly the size also created a layer of difficulty we haven't seen in the past. Do you agree with?
Bigger, stronger, and naturally heavier like Canelo. Moving up to weight classes could expose him to challenges he's never faced before.
That or no?
I agree with that.
So what about this level of size?
The thing with Bud is, man, he's up for the challenge, right? Every time people count him out, he finds ways to answer. And then, like Roy talked about, like trying to find a small advantage. This is top-level athletes, top-level fighters. I just believe that first fight with Marshall, I was at that fight, right? And I was not bored at all. I don't know what the hell Mike got going on.
I heard booing.
I didn't hear no booing. Listen,
I was expecting a better action fight than that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because we're used to seeing Bud stop everybody.
And to Bud's credit, Bud knows it was a bad fight, and you heard him the other day say it wasn't just me that had a close fight, it was also Canelo against William Skull.
But the thing, real quick, Max, the game is to win.
Yeah.
Right? It might not be the way you look.
Business.
The game is to win.
Roy, hold on. Let me ask
It's
someone
to
who
win.
actually knows about this stuff, who's done it. At middleweight, it was ridiculous. These guys could not touch you.
Right.
At super middleweight, same thing, and you were stopping guys in 1 or 2 rounds. Good fighters. Like people say, oh, Roy didn't fight this guy or that.
Canelo, meanwhile, has slimmed down, training for speed, just like he did before the Triple G rematch. That strategy worked for him then, and it might work again against Crawford. The biggest unknown, can Crawford's power carry up to 168 pounds?
That guy, meantime, those guys would go out and win belts and stuff, and you were stopping him in 2 rounds like it was nothing.
Right.
When you got to light heavy, you were still easily beating everybody, but those second-round knockouts stopped, right? Now they started going the distance. What was the difference in terms of the size that you experienced there?
The difference was I was coming from 185, making 175. These guys come from 200, 210, making 175. So they could absorb the punch a bit better than the guys that were closer to my size. However, Canelo is, I have never seen anybody hurt Canelo.
No, ever.
You understand what I'm
Max,
saying? So I ain't gonna
Max,
lie.
do me a favor, remind everybody, who did you pick when Roy Jones fought John Ruiz?
I may have picked...
He's never been known as a one-punch knockout artist, but neither is Canelo, despite a few highlight reel KOs. Usually, Canelo breaks opponents down over rounds. The question is whether Crawford can handle that pressure at super middleweight. This fight is razor close. Every detail counts, from stare-downs to training styles, from legacy to mental warfare.
The way he was going to beat Ruiz, Al Cole, the Iceman cruiserweight champ, who wound up going toe-to-toe with all the heavyweights and no one could ever hurt him. He said, Max, I'll spar anyone, moment's notice, right? Any heavyweight. He had a great chin. He said, the only dude I need to wait, I need like a couple days to prepare is Roy.
He knew.
And I said,
He knew.
and what I said, Roy, was, oh, because of the speed. He said, no, because of the power. You think Terence Crawford could bring his power up to 68?
See, this is what bothers me. Terence has never been known as a one-punch knockout guy, but neither is Canelo. So neither one of these guys are really known. Wait a minute. Neither one of these guys are really known as knockout guys.
That's not true.
Let me tell you why. He don't know boxing like I know boxing.
I know that Canelo knocked out Kirkland and Amir Khan with
So
one shot.
Stop. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, Roy's right about
let
this.
me break it up, let me break it up.
Kirkland and Amir
Two
Khan.
one shot, though.
But Amir Khan was chinny and would get knocked
wins.
out.
Yes.
At 175, 2 shots.
He was a shot Kovalev and he went 10 rounds and it
Okay,
wasn't
now
1 or
we're
2
making-
shots.
okay.
He broke him down. Roy's talking about pop and you're gone.
Was
Right.
Kirkland one shot, bop and gone?
No, Kirkland was a guy who came straight forward and got chopped up and knocked out.
okay.
Yeah. Go ahead,
So,
Roy.
again, like I said, he's not been known as one.
Canelo brings size, experience, and history. Crawford brings speed, hunger, and the will to prove himself at the highest level. On September 13th, we find out who truly takes control. Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Punch knockout guy either. Now, to his credit though,
I like Mike, by the way.
against a
He's
smaller,
all right.
I like against a smaller
Don't beat
guy,
Mike up for us. Don't beat him up.
against a smaller guy coming up though,
Yeah.
that might come into play
Right.
because we have never seen Bud get hit by a guy quite this big. Although he beefed up, we still haven't seen him take that.
I want
So
to.
that's gonna be very questionable. Can he take that one shot? But we don't think that Bud can knock out Canelo.
I want to bring up someone else that I've worked with in the past doing commentary. And here's one way to think about heavyweights, right? If you made an all-time bracket, tournament style, all the heavyweights who ever lived, who's the guy who would probably win that tournament? I don't talk about size for their era, anything. You just got to pluck them out of their era. Obviously, guys like Dempsey and Joe Louis can be too small, right? Who's the guy who would win the all-time heavyweight tournament, in your opinion, Roy?
In my opinion, I
Yeah.
have to say Muhammad Ali.
You say Ali still. Who do you say?
I love Ali.
Ali is my guy, but
I like Jack Johnson.
you're not taking this seriously.
Yeah, amazing defensive
The
fighter.
answer is Lennox Lewis, but anyway.
Oh, he is.
I'll be replying to as many as I can. Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed the breakdown, and subscribe for full fight week coverage, including live reactions after the big one, Canelo vs. Crawford.